Hey folks, Quill18 here. Happy April 1st, but no joke, this is some Let's Play of Europa Universalis 4's latest expansion, Mare Nostrum. This is a pre-release press build. Some things may change between what you see here and what actually gets released in a few days, but I think overall it's pretty much locked down. Lots of changes in this expansion. A lot of them do center around naval stuff and trade, which is appropriate for the name. But in addition to that, there are some map reworks. In particular, we've got an updated Ireland over here with a lot more provinces than it had before, which is exciting. Also, quite a few changes in Africa. I wouldn't be able to point out the exact province changes, but I know that there's a lot of a shake-up here. Actually, quite a few overall. With the new Africa. Oh, here we go. We've got Madagascar has been split into quite a few more provinces as well. Really? And has nations? No kidding! Madagascar used to be just a wasteland of, I think, 3 provinces. Now it's got a bunch of provinces and actual nations living here. Oh, that is quite the change. There's probably lots more, but it's hard to pin them all down. We've got espionage reworks, we've got the concept of territories and states and corruptions and trade leagues and all sorts of good stuff. Let's go ahead and start a game and see how it goes. And what I want to do today is I want to make the Hansa great again. We are going to start off as Lübeck. We did play as the Hansa once a long time ago, and let's go into normal mode. And it was great fun. It's really the southern coast of Europe that gets all the attention trade-wise. You know, it's the Venetian trade node, Genoan trade node, Seville trade node, and in the north, a lot of times you spend more time concerned about the English Channel than anything else. But we are obviously going to be focusing on the Lübeck trade node this time around. And we are starting as a one-province merchant republic. And again, compared to the other merchant republics, which include Novgorod over here. Well, Novgorod's a grand republic. Yeah, merchant republic, I was going to say. All right, that's just the rank. Venice over here, which is also that, and Genoa. We are a one-province merchant republic. I actually don't know how many other merchant republics there are around. Is it just us 4? I mean, there's plenty of other republics, but I don't know how many of them are merchant republics. And anyway, we are a one-province one. We do start off in charge of a trade league over here. We are the league leader of the unnamed trade league here in the north, consisting of Riga, Oldenburg, Magdeburg, Lüneburg, Bremen, and Hamburg. The trade leader, the leader of a trade league, must be a merchant republic, but that is the only requirement. The members of a trade league, ignoring the leader, the members of the trade league can be any type of government, but they have to be a one-province nation. They can't, if they ever get a second province, they leave the trade node. The leader can be bigger than that. We can go and take multiple provinces, but we have to stay a merchant republic to stay in charge, and certainly we're going to have to keep good opinion. Now, as far as I can tell, and I wish this wasn't so, as far as I can tell, there's no map mode for trade leagues. I mean, there's a trade map mode, right? But I don't think there's a trade league map mode, which is a bit unfortunate. There's trade company, but that's different. That is really unfortunate. There's this states and territory mode, though, which is a little bit new. So with Mare Nostrum, it introduces the concept that your one nation is made up of multiple states. You know, each state can have more than one province. And if you go over a certain number of states, well, you simply can't. Your country can also, in addition to being made up of a number of states, can also be made up of a number of territories. But territories are not as well integrated into your country. Apparently, the coring cost is half for a territory, but you get less stuff from that. It's a lot like the overseas expansion kind of idea with the territories. You can make a territory into a state of your country, but there is a limit, and you can see that on the stability and expansion tab over here. So assuming I'm reading this right, it means that I can have 10 total states right now. And right now I have one state, the state of Mecklenburg, which we can see that is indeed... This is the Mecklenburg state over here. So we currently have one state. And so if we were to grab these 2 other provinces, that would still just be the one state, and I'd be fine. And I think as soon as you start grabbing stuff outside of that area, so right over here, this is all, that's part of Jutland, but these 3 over here are part of the state of Holstein. So as soon as I grab one of those, I think it would initially be created as a territory, but I could upgrade it into a state. And I think I would want to since I'm not at my limit. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I haven't played Mare Nostrum yet. I loaded it up just to see if I could figure out the new stuff on the user interface, but that's about it. Other things at the top, we do have a sailors number here next to manpower. Sailors are used for ships, and this number will always be smaller. You can see our maximum is only 637, but they're highly skilled people meant to be used as sailors. And there are ways we can go and take sailors from other people too, via impressment. There's also another number here for corruption, which, when this goes positive, there's a few changes it does. It gives you less defense against spies. It also means all power expenses go up, so the amount of power points you have to spend to do everything goes up a little bit as you get some corruption. You can fight corruption by having positive stability. In addition to that, you have a budget here to root out corruption, which is a percentage of your income to combat corruption over here. And because I have none, it doesn't matter where I put the slider right now, it's 0. But as soon as we get any, I could say, listen, whenever we get some corruption, spend like 25% of my income to fight the corruption. We want to bring it down relatively quickly. Or I could bring it all the way down to 0, or, you know, somewhere in between. Brand new to the game. I don't know how the corruption's actually going to work out for us. There is a button here to promote mercantilism. If I had 100 Diplo, I could show you this, and it probably will. By pushing this button, you spend 100 diplomatic power to increase your mercantilism by 1%. It does say, and when I was doing my little test here, it does say that it increases corruption. It was saying it was going to increase corruption by, I think, 0.8. And it didn't actually do that. Although, I guess it said 0.8%. But yeah, as far as I can tell, it didn't actually change my corruption. So I don't know if there was something I'm missing, or if there's a bug in my build where it doesn't actually do that. I mean, it's still not a free button to push. 100 Diplo power is a lot. But it is nice to have control over our mercantilism, because that is a very, very powerful trade modifier. What else? Bunch of changes in diplomacy. If we go and try to talk to Mecklenburg over here, you can see we do have the ability to try to invite people to the Trade League, although we can't because, A, they hate us, but they're also too big. They're not allowed to be invited to the Trade League because they're more than one province. We also have offer condottieri, which is we would offer them troops. Say, let's say we give them an army, and then we can charge them a certain amount. And then this army, we still have control over it, but this army will be flagged as part of their sort of nation in terms of warfare. So if Mecklenburg was at war with, say, Brandenburg, but I wasn't, I could still lease my troops to Mecklenburg, and then I could go in and fight Brandenburg over there. I suppose, and we don't know about this, it seems like I could just sit around and do nothing with the troops. I mean, I can see why they wouldn't want you to give up control over the troops, because people might just suicide them as a troll, but what if you just leave them there? So you do have to sort of trust that you're paying for something worthwhile, but I guess you can just cancel that if the person's not doing good stuff with their troops. So there's that. Covert actions have been updated a lot with this build spy network and counter espionage over here. Haven't played with this at all, so we're going to discover this as we go forward here. I wonder, does this tie up it does require a diplomat. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, and you have it going consistently. So I'm not going to tie up my diplomats doing covert actions quite yet. There's one other thing I wanted to show. Oh, right, the new trade missions for your ships. So we have 2 fleets right now. We have our fleet with our light ships, our barks, and another fleet with some galleys and some transports. And if I click on my barks over here, you can see 2 new buttons at the bottom. Well, the first one is the mission. Select mission. You'll notice there's no button over here to protect trade anymore. There's a button for raiding coast, which is quite exciting. I think an evade enemy fleets, I don't think was there either. First right click on a destination. Yeah, that's quite cool. But select mission is a new button. One of those is protect trade, and this works exactly the same as before. So these are our light ships. We're going to tell them to protect trade in Lübeck. They'll power project over there. That's great. The other button is the mission settings, and that determines how often they go and repair, right? If you had ships on a trade mission, sometimes they would take damage from battle or a little bit of attrition, and they would go and auto-repair. This was the case before. Now, they did have a threshold. They didn't repair. If they were like 98%, they didn't go to repair. I don't know what the threshold was, but now you can actually tune it. If you've taken any damage at all, instantly go repair. Slightly damaged, the default, only when severely damaged, or never go and auto-repair whatsoever. I think I'm going to go, as soon as you're slightly damaged, go and do that. You can also set the aggressiveness of your ships. Influences how the fleet will react to enemy ships while on the mission. The higher value, the stronger enemy fleets, the fleet will try to engage. Exploration, evade, and repair damage ship missions are not affected by this setting, because those would presumably always try to avoid people. So you can have bold or you could have cautious. This is my trade fleet. I want you to be cautious, and that makes me feel pretty good about that. We might even go and tell you to go home at war. That's a different checkbox. So we've got that. Let's look at some of the other missions here. So this is my war fleet. Well, I guess the transports aren't particularly war-orific, but let's pretend. So protect trade was before. Privateer, which is where you are a pirate in a node. That was there before. So these missions work exactly the same as before. Hunt pirates, same as before. You can go and send them to a node and counter other privateers. Explore, this is the mission that you get if you have an explorer on the ship, and then you can go and uncover parts of the map. But then there's 3 new ones. Hunt enemy fleets, blockade enemy ports, and intercept enemy fleets. If we click intercept enemy fleets, we do select a region. And they're nicely color-coded, right? So you've got the Atlantic and you've got the Baltic Sea over there. And you can send there. If you go hunt enemy fleets, you get the same option. And finally, blockade enemy ports, the same action. So regardless, you tell them what sea zone to operate in. Hunt enemy fleets describes it as seek out and attack vulnerable enemy fleets in the selected region. Versus intercept enemy fleets says seek out and attack enemy fleets near allied coastlines, focusing on troop transports. So it sounds to me like intercept enemy fleets, they're not going to go and roam around to the same way. In fact, for all I know, they might stay parked. I'm not sure. If I say intercept enemy fleets in the North Atlantic, I'll be quite curious to see if it decides to start moving. I guess we could unpause. Wow, no, we've got more work to do. We're not at war. There are no enemy fleets, but I'd be quite interested to see if they start moving right away or they wait until they see someone. I suspect in the first case they roam around, and this one they might stay a little bit closer, which is nice and safe, but we'll find out later. The wiki hasn't been updated yet. We don't know what all these things do exactly. And then finally, I do like the blockade enemy ports automation. That makes me really happy to see. So we do have a little symbol next to that fleet to show that they're intercepting, which is good. Same as the trade symbol over here. That is hunky-dory. And I think with that, we can probably just start playing. So what is going to be our mission as Lübeck? Now, I mean, certainly, with any nation in the game, you can play the paint the world in your name / color, make it as big as possible. I don't think that's necessarily what we're going to aim for. We're not going to go for a super aggro game because I love the idea of playing a little bit more with the diplomatic aspects, especially with the trade league over here. Very curious to see what that will do. So we're going to set some goals here as Lübeck. One thing, we would like to try to keep our trade league partners alive. Oh, we haven't actually talked about what a trade league does. Being in a trade league gives everyone a bunch more trade goods. I think is it. Like, I don't think it gives you more trade power. Well, that we get. So there's a difference between, hold on. There is a difference between what we are as a leader versus what we get as a member. Now, so the trade leader gets 50% trade power from all of its members and gets a nice bonus to trade steering that is based on the amount of members in the league. And then members get double bonus on goods produced from the leader's Merchant Republic ability and a 20% trade power bonus on its ships. So everyone trades a little bit better and a little bit harder within the trade league. So it's good for the members and it's good for me. Not only that, trade leagues act as a defensive alliance. If anyone in our trade league over here, if anyone in our trade league gets attacked, oh, it says it here, all league members join in defensive wars. And each member agrees to transfer trade power to its leader. Members can have as most one province, so they'll automatically leave the league. Leader must have at least negative 50 prestige to continue leading a trade league, and the leader must be a merchant republic. Being in a trade league gives -1 diplomatic relations, right? So it ties up one of our relationship slots. We can see here we're at 0 of 3 instead of 0 at 4. And we, and again, anyone in the trade league, including ourselves, gets a 20% ship trade power. And then multiplicative in provinces with trade merchant republics, plus 100% local goods produced, which is pretty excellent. Trading posts. I mean, presumably, as Lübeck is the node of our main trade city, we cannot create a trade post here. All right, cool. Let's get started. We've already sent our ships on a patrol mission, which is good. Oh, we need to pick a mission and we need to set our rivals. Let's see here. Improve prestige. Yeah, always hard to do manually, and we probably don't have any sort of static prestige gain. No, it is going down. Solidify Papal relations, a very easy mission for us to grab. End the Sound Toll does require that we can control Zeeland over here and Skåne over here. That's obviously a little bit further away. That I don't think is an early mission for us. So we'll take the mission to solidify papal relations, and we'll go ahead and send 1 diplomat over there right away. to improve relations. We could wait until we set up alliances first, but our diplomats are going to come home really fast. So let's take a look at who has rivaled us. That's not great. Luckily, they're not adjacent to us, but oof. Brandenburg, Saxe-Lauenburg, and Mecklenburg. Now, unless I'm wrong... Okay, so they're not. They're not in the trade league. Where's Saxe? It's here, right? No, that's Lüneburg. It's right here. Okay, so this is our immediate neighbor, and they hate us. So, I mean, I think it makes sense to rival them back. Probably what we'll do is just rival back everyone who's rivaled us. Now, luckily, I'm really happy about this. Sometimes what will happen, and we will have to check, is when we go looking for alliances, if someone is allied to someone that we have rivaled or different things like that, they might not join the trade league. Like Friesland over here is not in the trade league right now. They have a neutral attitude towards me, and the trade league's relatively big. So I could look to improve relationship with Friesland and then see if we can pull them in. They do hate Gellera, Munster, and Bremen, which I think... Are any of those in the trade league? Bremen is. Okay. So I have to make sure not to ally Bremen, because if I do, Friesland will be less likely to join the trade league. But they're not upset that Bremen is in the trade league in and of itself, which is interesting to see. All right. Well, I guess what we're going to do is we'll probably... I guess we'll rival Brandenburg, because they're going to hate us no matter what, so at least it'll help us make friends with whoever hates them. Lüneburg, Pomerania, Saxony, Lübeck. Actually, Pomerania would be an excellent ally for us. They also hate Mecklenburg, who hates us. All right, I think we're just going to rival everyone back. And in, of course, the same order that they rivaled us. And I think one of the things we might do is plan to go after Mecklenburg, because if we find an alliance with Pomerania, they're going to be much more likely to jump in with us. So I'm going to go, and rather than improve our trade league standings, I'm going to go and suck up to Pomerania right away, because I would like to have an alliance with them as soon as possible. They would be a great ally for us, both against Brandenburg and against Mecklenburg. I mean, they might go for the Teutonic Order first. We'll see how it goes. I mean, ideally, I would like them to not conquer this territory. I suppose what I could do is I could say, hey, I'm really interested in these provinces over here. That would be a great way for me to grow. And all these provinces are in the Lübeck trade node, which is really good. I mean, at some point in the future, we might like to conquer Hamburg, but right now, they are in the trade league. So right now, we'll be friendly with them. I think that we can probably safely go and lower our army maintenance. And I would go and mothball the other fleet, but I want to see how they work. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I will split off the transports. And I will mothball the transports over here. There we go. They don't need a mission. That's the transports. And you guys still do the mission. We'll see how it works. We've got some money. We probably want to spend it. At the very least, I'm going to spend it on one new bark for now. Because we've got... Was this always here in this tooltip where it says what your force limit is? I feel like that's new. I really feel that that's new. By the way, a lot of the changes that I've talked about may be part of the free patch. For example, the map changes are always part of the free patch. And I don't know about the other mechanics, but I feel like that's new, that it wasn't there before, because I used to have to check the other screen, but maybe I just never saw it. So I'm just going to queue up one, because we only have one port. We can only build them one at a time. Doesn't make any sense to spend the money ahead of time. And in terms of our army, we have a force limit of 7. I'll build 1 cavalry, and I think... Yeah, 1 infantry, because 4 and 3 is a bit awkward. We could run out of people in the front a little too fast. I don't know, I think that's going to be a fine number like that. So, we don't have any money left over to go and hire an advisor. I will set my national focus to administration to start off with, because I will be spending 100 power to boost my stability in a moment, and then I will like to rush up to unlocking national ideas. And our first national idea, I don't know. I mean, trade certainly seems like it would fit. Is it our first one, though? That is a big question. There's a lot of reasons why we might decide to go diplomatic for our first idea. Diplomatic, influence, something of that nature. We might even decide to go an administrative one early, because we do have more administrative power than anything else. But that's less of an issue. With republics, you can sort of tune that quite a bit once your first ruler dies. I mean, we will re-elect our ruler for one time, without a doubt. So yeah, it feels like we might want to get trade ideas early on. Maritime ideas later on would be quite good. But at some point, one of my goals, long-term goals, getting more power for Lübeck would be good. And certainly then getting more power into trade nodes that feed into Lübeck. So the Baltic Sea, the North Sea might be a possibility. And we could head, further south into Saxony and all those. Those would all be good because they would send more power there. At some point, I would like, assuming that we've got a little bit more control over the North Sea, either via ships or via some amount of land. Which, I mean, the land might be a bit tricksy. But at some point, this comes in from the White Sea and the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Well, the White Sea is north. I don't know if I'll care about that too much. But the Gulf of St. Lawrence, we might want to go and set up a colony in North America. I would really love it if we could do that. So where's this alliance offer coming from? Verden. Who are you? Where are you? Right over here. You are allied to Hamburg, who is in my trade league. You are not currently in the trade league. You would be willing to join. Let me call back the Pope guy here. So I'll have to wait 12 days for it to come back. Who are you rival to? Oldenburg, East Frisia, and Bremen. If I ally this guy, that might upset the others enough to make them lead the trade league. So I think I'm going to have to decline. Which does upset him, unfortunately. But he would be quite happy to join our trade league because of the friendly attitude. Luca has joined the Genoan trade league. All right. Come on, diplomat, before he gets upset too much. We're going to invite you to the trade league. Excellent. Give me more trade power. Oh, yeah, let's take a look at our ships. So they are patrolling around, even on the intercepting fleet. So I'm not 100% sure what the difference between the two will be. So we'll just cancel your mission. We'll tell you to send home, and then we'll mothball you when we get there because we don't need you to be out there at this time. That's fine. You entered the trade league. Excellent. Now, I wish there was a trade league map mode that would show you all the nations in your trade league and maybe highlight in a color all the one province nations, because it's like, do you actually have one province, or do you have another one hiding somewhere else? I don't know. And we have to keep checking over here in the coast. So East Frisia is not currently in it. And yeah, our size has gotten bigger, so it feels like it's going to become, well, if they become friendly, they might be willing to do it. I'm going to send my diplomat, I suppose, back to the Pope here, because I'm still hoping to get, just finish that mission. Noble legacy of Lübeck. Our Republican nation has given up many of the old ideas about nobility and feudal rule, but sometimes when they are use of us, we are willing to reconsider them on a situational basis. Such a situation has arrived in Lübeck, where a local aristocrat claims that land just across the border is, in fact, part of his family's rightful domain. This gives me a claim on Wismar, which is great. It does upset the traders. So, as a merchant republic, I don't have estates, but I do have a faction system over here, and different factions will be in charge at different time, and that gives different bonuses. So right now with the aristocrats in charge, I actually have less trade power abroad, which is a bit unfortunate, but our armies are a bit better, and we get more sailors as well, whereas it'd be quite nice to maybe get the traders later on. So if I take this, the aristocrats become even more happy, the traders get upset, but it gives me a claim over here, so I don't have to use a diplomat to fabricate anything. Or we could go the other way, which does give us, it's only 3 years of local trade power. Mecklenburg starts to like me, but we're rivals, that hardly matters. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the claim. Interesting. Very interesting. Also, I have enough admin power here. I do want to boost up to +1. Always going to try to keep it +1 stability. Here's the logic. There's like a way that you can sort of like reason why that's a good one. Let's assume -3 stability is right out. If you're ever at -3 stability, you don't want it, because, I mean, you'd go, first of all, you'd be getting +6 unrest. So you get -1 unrest when you're positive for each step, but it's -2 for each step that you're negative, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. Does it not describe it here? I've described it somewhere. But anyway, you get a lot more unrest, plus there might be disasters, all kinds of things. So we've agreed that, like, if you're at -3, you're going to spend the points to go up. Right, but at some point, stability would always drop. Now, it's a little less true in a republic, but certainly in a kingdom, right? Every time your king dies, you will lose -1 stability. So if you're at -2, let's say you only care that you're not at -3. So now you're at -2, and maybe you're okay. But sometime in the future, you will lose stability from your king dying. So at some point in the future, you're going to be spending admin power, 100 admin power, to boost your stability. Well, if you're going to do that anyway, why not do that now? Because the stability change gives you, say, more tax money. And less unrest. You know, maybe you don't care about the unrest because everything is stable, but the tax money is always going to be good. The trade power is always good, right? So if you're going to spend the power at some point anyway, why not spend it now? And in fact, that logic continues up all the way up to +1. You know, especially early on. Maybe like in the last 10 years of the game, you don't care if you're going to be negative. But you can go all the way up to +1 because the cost is the same. It does cost more than to go up to +2, so it sort of breaks there. But that's why I like to keep it at +1. There might be short-term reasons why you might not want to boost it, because if you're overextended, then it'll cost more. And certainly if you need to spend points on coring, or if you're on the cusp of a new idea or technology, that might be different. But I really think that +1 stability is the way to go, and I have no problem spending the min power doing that. Just the extra little bucks early on. Like, if you can squeeze out an extra 1 ducat for a year, it's going to be great. So people are joining the Genoan, Novgorod, and Venetian trade leagues. All right, that's fine. It doesn't affect me whatsoever. Still building the ships. I think I can probably go up to +3 speed over here. So I'm going to keep building up my army. It'll be quite interesting to see. Oh yeah, and we're sucking up to Pomerania. Galera has joined Genoa. We've gained the CB. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, and what we need to do really is to get Pomerania to stop being neutral towards us, to be friendly, which can happen. And actually, I guess we could manage an attitude here, and we're going to explicitly say we're going to be friendly towards Pomerania, which may or may not influence what they decide to do about me. Hey, we have mutual rivals. Kingdom of Italy and the Empire, that always fires early on in the game, and basically means that the Kingdom of Italy will leave the HRE. A new Pope, all right, that's fine. We have been warned not to... Denmark warned us? Have we ever seen that? I mean, it's happened maybe before from the AI, but usually if we've built up a bunch of aggressive expansion. And, I mean, we have a claim, but we didn't fabricate it. We didn't generate any aggressive expansion. Why would you warn me, Denmark? That's actually a really pro move. Well done. I'm not happy you've done it. You are hostile. They want Lübeck. Huh. Interesting. We still don't have any allies yet. We should really... I mean, maybe I should have taken that. I'm still hoping to get, I think, Friesland to join. Well, now, at this point, I think it's not going to happen. So, next alliance offer we'll probably take. Munster, Cologne, Anhalt. Brunswick might be a really good pick for us, actually. Some people hate them. But I don't think that'll cause us too many issues. Man, right now we mostly just need more diplomats. But yeah, I really want Pomerania. So still a big differential. Oh, we consider the same two provinces to be of vital interest. So maybe what I should do is no longer do that. I mean, I still have a claim, but it's not of vital interest. I mean, I'm still going to take them. Don't get me wrong. But we'll figure out where we're going to go after that. Knights have joined the Trade League. Still got the rebels over here. Oh, there's some rebels here too. Just got a glimpse of them as our ships went by. Speaking of ships, are we still building all that stuff here? We're still constructing our vessel here. Yeah, we got a queue of 3. The ship followed by the 2 units, so I did spend that a little too early. So I think I'm going to grab an advisor. We don't have a ton of money. Let's see here. These I can live without. I mean, more administrative power is good, but more diplo power is also going to be quite nice. I'm going to take the +1 diplo rep. Yeah, the trade efficiency is always good too, but the +1 diplo rep will increase the chance that someone will join these things because we have more diplomatic reputation, which acts as more pluses on our side. We're actually nearly there with Pomerania. And I really think that that's going to be a good way to go. Meanwhile, the Pope. Yeah, well... yeah, 58. We're getting there. No bad modifiers. That helps. And I guess I'll be able to recall my guy from Pomerania and then send him one there. Nearly there. Okay, we're even. We have to go 1 positive. We've got it. I'm going to stop improve relations and then offer an alliance with Pomerania. I'm quite happy with that. Now that we've got our diplomat back, out of curiosity, no, Pomerania, I would need to promise them territory to join in. So I would have to give them at least one of the 2 provinces, and I would really like all of this. I might not annex it. I might vassalize them. That will certainly cause a lot of drama llama between me and Pomerania, though. So yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to go from there. Friesland, you're really quite far from this, right? Yeah. You're allied to my rival, so that's no good. And you're going to hate me, so I think the thing to do will actually be to improve relations with Brunswick a bit. And see if we can't get an alliance that way. No! Oh, no, we can't. Cologne's not a bad pick. What about Munster over here? That might be a little bit better. They're a little bit bigger. Yeah, we'll work on something like that and see how it goes. Not a whole heck of a lot of options for us. So we're still constructing over here. We're still teching up. Still got that seat. Oh, balance is still pretty good, actually. Just take the prestige guy, I suppose. Yeah, all right. We'll do that. I think that's going to be fine. Then I'm not going to spend any more. Yeah, okay, there we go. Maybe actually the month hadn't gone by. I hadn't factored in the advisor cost yet. Muscovy declares war on Novgorod. Pretty standard little operation over there. Mantua, I think, is part... Oh, no, it's not part of the Trade League. Lucca? Yeah, that's the Trade League there. Okay. The Genoan one, though. Right, which makes sense. Oh, a little bit of warfare going on here. Alsace taking over some bits of Baden. Unhappiness among merchants. Lose 50 Diplo power I don't like. Or lose 1 Mercantilism. I never want to lose Mercantilism, so I guess we will lose the Diplo power. That is really unfortunate. But Mercantilism is something, yeah, I will not ever want to lose. I'm going to mothball that fleet, save a few bucks. And looks like we're done building all the army and stuff. If I hadn't spent money on the advisor, I'd be queuing up another ship, but that's okay. So I'm now at my force limit. So presumably I have no favor over here. Yeah. How badly? Discovered an agent. Holstein's building a spy network. Diplomat was expelled. Numerous agents arrested, reducing the size of their spy network to 25. Yeah, I'm really curious to see that. So, if we did go to war over here, we'd probably have to give them the bigger province. I mean, I guess I could just vassalize them and upset them. I'll ruin some trust, but that might not be too bad. Who are you allied with? Only Friesland. God, that's pretty good. I think we might just go and lie to Pomerania. Oh, I have no money. I think I might just go and lie to Pomerania. You there, you'll be going home at war when we get there. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Now, I don't have a general right now. I don't really want to make a general out of my leader because he's actually quite good. We'd have to invest a lot to get another one. I guess I'll just do this. Yeah, it's pretty crap. That is pretty crap. But how much more do I want to spend? Yeah, if I had a really high military skill, I might be tempted to use my leader, but I think he's going to be pretty vanilla, and I don't want to lose him. I don't think I'm going to spend more military power, because I don't have much army tradition right now, 11, so my generals are never going to be good, but it would have been nice to get one with shock instead of fire. International guild contracts. Okay, so this is aristocrats versus the guilds. This makes my offensive spies better, but my defensive ones worse, or over here... We'll get -1 diplomat for a while. Well, I want to keep the aristocrat control for now, for the extra morale of the armies. Although, God, they are really, they're really moving up there. These are going down. Why are they going down? Doesn't tell me. Oh, this is the one that gives me -1 diplomats. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go pro-guilds. And in fact, the aristocrats are still... No, really? I thought the aristocrats were still giving me power. I could spend some power to boost that. So the guilds give me less manpower, more goods produced, and cheaper build cost, none of which I care about. So I'm going to go ahead and boost the influence over here. Get the aristocrats back in charge for the 5% boost to morale. Not the greatest modifier in the world, but it is something. Okay. I have no diplomats to send. Right, of course. There we go. We can return from Munster over here, offer the alliance. Now, they won't join in the offensive war, but that's fine. They would be willing to join the Trade League, but they're too big. Now, I wonder if people ask to join the Trade League, as opposed to me asking them. If you win the war and do not give them their fair share of the peace treaty, they will be very upset. I think that's what's going to happen, though. We're going to promise them land and not actually deliver. Friesland's not even going to join in. Hold on. Because they're being destroyed. Hang on. Now, last time I saw they had an army of 6. We'd be attacking into the woods, though. We could take out a lone, go slightly above our force limit, and use that to beat them. What do I have? Farmland, yeah. So I can't even just sit here and wait for them to attack me. Huh. It's only an $8 loan. We could fire all our advisors. Well, certainly I think I have gone over my budget. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fire this guy. Bit of a waste to have purchased him in the first place. I don't know if I need the Diplorep guy either. You know what? Let's fire them both. And we will go slightly above our force limit. I could wait a few months, but this is a perfect time to strike. Okay, I'm going to start building it, and I'm going to declare war now. And perhaps I can unmothball this and actually move you out here, and we'll get in position for a blockade. Not an automatic blockade, but that's going to be okay. And get them both there so that... What's your flag? Do you have a fleet out? You have this one, but it's currently parked. I don't know where your trade ships are, but we might be able to catch them at some point. Alright, what the hell? Let's do it. What could possibly go wrong? A lot. I'm going to do that. Ooh! Look at the border! Nice! And I'm going to spend the points... You know, I'm going to make my leader into the general. Okay, then I'm going to use him. I'm going to say I might not use him, but that's pretty good. So we are going to get -1 from attacking to the woods. Now, they don't have a leader yet. They'll probably make one, of course. We will be attacking to the woods. Defensive war. Right, so, hold on. Who are you at war with? A couple people... Well, Friesland's not in the trade league. Oldenburg is. I think I'm going to say yes. It looks like they're... Well, actually, they're currently losing. Who are they fighting against? Friesland and Oldenburg. Oh, and they're being sieged out. Ew. Dude. How do you lose? No, I'm going to decline. Alright, let's do it. They do have a leader. Oh, not bad. Damn. Almost as good. We have a slight numbers advantage. That's our one thing, but we are going to be attacking into the forest, which obviously does not make me happy. Now, I didn't have anyone who could give me a boost to the actual fighting, huh? Alright, YOLO, let's see what happens. Navy's under attack, but no, that's gonna be fine. -1 for all our rolls, but we are getting the +1 on the fire roll at least. And yeah, we're even on the shock phase. We have slightly more troops. They have slightly higher base morale, but there we go. No, we will have won that. Oh, they did get a 9 roll there. I was pretty sure superior numbers would win out, and just slightly more fire. I realize that fire at this stage in the game is not particularly critical, but it is going to do something. If we go here, and I will do a consolidate, because especially we're building another regiment over here. That should be where they're retreating to, so we should almost certainly just stack wipe them. And we'll also win the naval battle. Not that it's as important for us to sink all the ships, but there we go. So we're going to go and... leave you there, and the rest can go over here. The siege won't actually start, but soon it will. We'll just pop this so that they can't build anything there, and we'll just move everyone over to Rostock. Okay, well, with that, I think it is actually time to put in a cut. This video's gone a little bit too long, but clearly we are going to win this war. It was a little bit crazy, but I don't regret it. I do regret having spent the money on the extra advisor that we just ended up firing after that. I'm okay with us not having any advisors right now, but because we do need the money. And how far are we? Well, it depends what we're going to do with these guys. If we just annex them, then we will need a lot of admin power for that. But I would prefer to get, to unlocking these techs. We'll see how it goes. Okay, you know what? Let me go until January the 1st, and then, boop. Let's go ahead and put in a cut here. Thank you very much for watching this new series. Looking forward to playing Mare Nostrum. I'm excited about a lot of the changes in here. Curious to see exactly how the ship missions will go, and we'll see how it goes a little bit further. We did lose some ships in here, unfortunately. Just our transports, which honestly, I'm actually fine with. I would have considered disbanding them to get some more naval force limit in any case, and so using them as cannon fodder against the ships, pretty good. Thanks for watching. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.